You're listening to For Better and Worse with Jess and Rach. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Surprise, surprise.
Hi, everyone.
We had a last minute fill-in for the pod due to Jessica being ill with COVID-19. Thoughts and prayers.
That's another one.
So, welcome to an episode of For Better and Tangents. Hey!
Ladies and worse.
Ladies and worse than ladies. It's us.
This is the podcast that almost was.
I know.
If I couldn't get Ciara out of bed, this is what was going to happen.
I know. And if I couldn't convince Jess that she could talk for an hour to me
Honestly,
every
that's
week.
the hardest part is like, can I speak to someone for an hour?
Yes.
And allow other people to hear it.
And not only an hour, every single week.
Yeah.
Turns out we found our co-hosts.
Honestly, if you have Marco Polo, then
Oh,
you get a lot of practice in.
I know. I love Marco Polo. But also, do you know what? I feel like this app has to exist. And if it doesn't exist, maybe we can create it with your Ladies and Tangents money.
Okay.
Nobody steal this. I want an app that's like voice memos,
Okay.
but like that you can listen to like a podcast. So it's like sometimes people send me voice memos, but I can't like listen to them in my car. Like my Bluetooth doesn't connect right.
Yeah.
And then they like disappear forever. And then I'm like, what was said? I forget. I want something where it's like you send me a voice memo, but it doesn't go away.
Like a walkie-talkie,
Yeah,
but app.
you're right. And that exists. That does exist, actually.
It does.
That existed at the beginning of mine and Dave's relationship. It's called
did?
Boxer.
Memory unlocked. Here's how you trauma block that.
And I can never download that again. And I never will. It will remember me.
You have to make a whole new one.
Oh my
Because
God.
that one's tainted.
A new identity.
Yeah.
Truly at its core. So
They used to have that ability on Apple Watches where you could just like speak into your watch and send a voice memo to someone else with the Apple Watch.
oh my God.
And I don't know if you could connect headphones to your watch or if you just have to like hold your hand up to your ear and
Yeah.
hope for the best. But
Okay. Yeah. Memory unlocked. Speaking of, memory unlocked.
okay.
Do you want to know? So there are certain ways in which I know I'm neurodivergent. And I think on a spectrum of a variety of situations.
You are the reason that I am diagnosed with ADHD.
Because you looked at me and you were like,
Well, you were
and
talking
me.
to me on Marco Polo and you were explaining how you do things and you're like, that's my ADHD. And I was like, I think I need to talk to my therapist about ADHD.
Because that's
all of that
ticking
made
all
sense
the boxes.
to me. Yeah.
But Madison and I have a phone consult today, which number one, I hate phone consults because it's like I can't tell when somebody wants to talk. And we were like 3-way calling. It was bad. But she tells me, because she's in med school, I was like, oh, like, what are you in med school for? Blah, blah. And she said, podiatry. I said, oh, I have a funny story about podiatry. I said, one time.
No, you don't. No one has a funny story about podiatry.
This actually is a funny story, but is arguably, Rachel, you don't need to tell people this.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, when I was moving back to Kent from when I was away at college, I asked my mom for my psychiatrist's number. And so she gave it to me. And so I call and the receptionist answers and says, Dr. So-and-so's office. And I said, hi, my name's Rachel. I've had mental illness for many years. I am now looking for a psychiatrist because I'm too old for my child psychiatrist. And so I have all of these mental illness issues. I've been going through this. I'm moving back from college and I would like to schedule an appointment.
We love a self-advocate.
And she said, oh, honey, this is a podiatrist's office.
You went through your whole speech only to find out you called the wrong place.
Only to find out I called the foot doctor.
Aw.
Yes.
Is there any chance that my ADHD comes from my feet?
Yeah. So
Could you maybe help me?
any chance that you can cure my depression through my toes?
Reflexology?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
No, she was like,
Sandy,
I wish you the
I
best.
didn't mean to call you.
I
Okay.
wish you the best, honey, but that's just not the right place for you.
I'm
And
looking
I
for some
said,
pressure point work.
I said,
though.
thank you very much. Promptly called my mom and I was like, you caused a very traumatic moment in my life
did me
today.
dirty.
You did me dirty. Toes, dirty
Damn.
toe jam. Toe jammed. So
That's a giant stick. Toe jam.
toe jammed. I'm like in Parks and Rec. You've been jammed.
I'm so sad for you.
I know,
that.
but
Please, I need to know now, how did they react when you told that story?
she gave it a laugh,
It
and
was a
Madison
laugh.
was like, "I don't even know this story," and I was like, "It's probably because it doesn't need to be said." But here I am,
Here,
word
clients,
vomiting
let me
to
tell
this
you how
woman who,
mentally unwell I am.
please pay me thousands of dollars to photograph your wedding.
Yes, I'm not stable,
I have a psychiatrist and a podiatrist, baby.
and I don't know the difference.
And I don't know. I call them both. I text them both.
Well, that's unfortunate. But I'll tell you, having a podcast, you do overshare a lot.
Oh, God.
You've told me you've received inquiries from people who listen.
Yes, and that's very stressful.
Same, because I don't always know beforehand, or they have booked me before they found the podcast.
Yeah. And
so the first thing I think when they run out of the car and they're like, "Oh my God, I listened to your podcast," I think, I shit in a closet. Oh God.
You know too much about me in graphic detail.
My husband's O face is like it getting really, really small.
What I think of is, I can't talk to you because I repeat all of the same stories.
Yes. Yeah.
Every single one is just reused, recycled.
Yeah. And I'm not good at small talk.
Oh, God, no.
I have to word vomit and overshare, but I've already done that and you heard it, and now I have nothing left to offer you.
And if you don't word vomit on me and overshare on me, I don't know if we like each other.
Yep.
I was explaining this to Josh at the car today. I was like, here's the thing. I have to overshare and get all of it out, and because I need to know if they like me or not, because if they don't like me, I don't want to spend any more time on this.
I need to know where the line is.
Yes. So I need to show you my deepest, darkest crevices, my crevasses, and you say yay or nay.
Do you know I thought you hated me when we met?
Why? When I took you to IKEA for Swedish meatballs?
It was
another way that, what spectrum am I on?
It gave me a bit of whiplash because so we met because Rachel allowed me to come to her retreat.
I wanted her to come to my retreat.
I know, but you still allowed me to come.
Yeah. Pity case. Sob story, really.
Oh, yeah. Had the very intense sob story. But you picked me up from my hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fine. And then we went to IKEA and got meatballs, as one does.
As one does when
we went to IKEA for nothing else other than the meatballs.
And I stand by that choice.
And after that, once we got to the retreat, I now know that there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stress, but I was like, everyone hates me. She hates me because I didn't pay, and she doesn't want me to be here. And that's why I don't know if you remember, I offered to do the dishes, and you were like, "Don't you touch a single dish." And I was like, "But I have to." I thought I had to work. It's
like you're at a restaurant and you forgot your wallet.
Yes.
You have to pay your way.
That's exactly what I thought.
Which, please, anybody provide true or false on that? Is that real?
Oh, does that happen?
Let me say, the price of an entree these days and minimum wage are not the same.
Oh.
So you'd have to work a lot of hours to make up your meal. So I think that's all faux. I think that's all Hollywood, baby. That's all in the media.
Hullabaloo. That's what I heard.
I think that's just for the storylines.
Well, I don't know. But yeah, I did think you didn't like me. But then you told me about your mental illnesses, and I was like, oh, okay.
She's just incapable of showing that she's nice to people unless she's giving them things.
Well, then I learned what your love languages were, and then I got to know you on a more intimate one-on-one setting, and not well, duh, Jeri, she's not going to give you 1,000% of her attention in this setting and develop a deep, long-lasting relationship with you. Even though I was like, why?
Why not?
But it came.
Oh yeah. And our friendship came even later than that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously after the retreat,
it was a slow burn.
Yeah, we were a slow burn, and now we talk.
Is it hot?
What people don't realize is I've been friends with Jeri of Ladies Tangents for years.
Before I was her.
Before you were ever tangenting.
I know. Well,
professionally,
at your retreat was the first time anyone ever said to me that I should have a podcast.
Mm. Who said that?
Carly. A delight. I just saw her. A
beautiful delight.
I know. I just saw her and her beautiful family in July.
Those people are they're hot people that it's like, are you real?
I can't stand too close to you guys.
You just like people that they're too hot to be real life.
They're hot people, but they're also like nice people.
Yeah.
And like they
the
cook.
worst.
They cooked us like
They cook.
delicious
Hot
food,
people that cook.
and they gave us really nice wine. I was like, this is too much.
Oh my gosh.
This feels like the beginning of a movie.
Is this
where we end
Carly
up
or Guy
dead at the
Fieri's
end.
house?
I know. No, she was that one. She had to be the one who says any Italian word like really intensely.
I
don't remember. who she
hot
is.
people.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with them?
Stare at them
Stare at them.
for an unnecessarily long amount of time.
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Let me see. Oh yeah. I've been writing things down. I've been trying to get better about that. But this was a subject that has come up in my life that I've
Okay.
just been thinking. And this was going to be for Jess, but it's for you now.
Okay.
Because I wrote this down before Jeri was on my podcast
So-
in person. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
But Josh and I are looking for a house,
Yes.
as you know. Number one, for the birds. I am the type of person that buys the first car that they test
Yeah.
drive.
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't need to do this any longer. I've been here long enough.
This one has a motor.
I know this paperwork's going to take a while. I got places to be. This is a car. It's better than my other car. It's 10 years newer. What do I
Yep.
need?
Heated
then-
seats. Say no more.
Oh, I don't like heated seats. I don't like my butt to sweat.
You don't.
No, my lower back gets real clammy.
It does feel a little bit like I peed myself sometimes,
I'm not for it.
but in a good way.
I'm not for it. So house buying, it's like car buying, but elevated stakes. And so you're on all these, sites. Like, I mean, my realtor has a site, but like, all these apps and stuff looking at houses.
Mhm.
What I want to know is like, we are in the year 2021.
Mm-hmm.
We have the phones that we have.
Yep.
Are there some realtors out there that get like an old Razor flip phone to take pictures?
Oh my
Because-
god!
Because some of these pictures are
Atrocious.
are from a decade ago.
First of all, why does that one look like there's motion in it?
Like,
okay,
where were you going?
right? You gotta like finish the job in this room
Yeah.
before you move on to the next one. And if you could, pick up the towel. Why
Right.
is there clutter in this? I'm not asking you to clean your house, but you can very easily
Yeah.
move your clutter from one side of the room to the other while you take the picture.
Yeah.
You're trying to sell yourself, baby.
But I really do think that there must be a group of realtors on eBay being like, I gotta get this
On
old
eBay?
on this old LG scoop because
Yeah.
it's like a
Blackberry.
natural fuzzy filter on it,
Uh-huh.
and it's like you're squinting and you're like, guess I have to go in to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then it's like I don't trust a realtor that's using an LG scoop.
Nope. I don't trust anyone who uses an LG scoop.
You wouldn't have trusted me in the years 2008 to 2010.
What is the scoop? I had a
it was
chocolate.
it was a nice round, and then it flipped up.
Oh.
So here's one of my deep-seated insecurities. Never learned T9 word
you didn't?
because I was a scooper.
Wow.
I had a
Yeah,
scoop.
I was so freaking fast at T9. But if you, oh my God, one of my biggest pet peeves is people who spell words out with their phone numbers. And they're like, it's 1-800-DIAMOND. And I'm like, I don't know what letters those are.
And then I'm like-
because they don't have them on your numbers anymore.
I think they
Do
do.
they? Oh, well, never mind. I can spell diamond then. Maybe it's because I also feel insecure about spelling.
You're like, please don't make me spell for God's sake.
Honestly, it frustrates me. I think it's like cool, but if someone's like, "Hey, what's their phone number?" I'm like, "I don't know. There's a word in it, and I don't know what the numbers
Who
are."
was the last person that gave you a word other than like your plumber?
I saw it on. It was a photographer. I saw it on like
Okay.
Facebook. She was advertising.
Big eye roll. Please don't talk to me about that.
I know.
That's a red flag for me.
724.
Shoot now. That would be 7 numbers.
It might be.
Shoot me now.
SHT now.
Or shoot you.
Shit now. Oh no. Oh, that is shoot now would be.
What is
7. No, it's wait. No. See, this is why
This-
I can't spell.
this? Is
HOOT. No, it's not. You live and you learn.
you live and you learn. Okay, Jeri, I hate to say this to you, but I'm going to surprise you with a segment that is truly just for me.
Okay.
Okay. This is just for me.
I wanted to have a stupid fight of the week, but like our fights have been very serious.
Here it is.
We're in a real transition phase where like it's all emotionally driven.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So I don't have anything fun.
Oh, Jess and I will call it the stupid fight of the week, and then I'll be like, Josh's childhood trauma is really getting in. Really, I'm like, this isn't stupid.
No,
but we like to keep things light, a facade of light,
yes.
Always just sprinkled on top. But Jeri and I talk every day, so I've recently found that Jeri is a lover of my favorite trash reality TV show, Love Island, UK specifically.
I'm all caught up on Australia right now, and I'm fucking pissed about it.
And I'm just starting season 7 of Love Island UK. No spoilers. Okay. Which is really hard because I'm an IMDb-er. So the equivalent of IMDb for Love Island is Instagram, but I can't find out anything. So it's like I gotta keep it.
No, you can't. I did that one time and I accidentally looked him up and it said winner of whatever year. And I'm like, well,
that sucks.
Big spoiler.
Big spoiler. Also, I looked at Hulu because it's like, it says how many episodes available. Mm-hmm. Season 7 is twice as long as any other. It was just 2021 and they're like, we're going to keep these kids here all year, baby.
We got to make up for 2020.
Yeah, we are. I'm like, holy shit. So my favorite thing about that Jeri does on her podcast and just in life is when she does her accents, which I didn't know about you, that you are gifted at accents.
I don't necessarily know that it's gifted. I think it's my neurodivergency.
And my neurodivergency was disrupted when I married someone from the UK who had a very mixed bag accent, to say the least. Like he was in like an area where it's like a little bit Scouse, a little bit from Manchester, a little bit Welsh, a little bit like it was just couldn't pin it down. Couldn't pin it down. So I lost the ability to give a British accent because I start getting like rocks in my mouth and I'm like, where am I?
Yeah.
So this is a game.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm going to give you a British slang term, and you need to use it in a sentence. In
a sentence?
Yes.
Am I going to know what the slang means?
Maybe not.
Okay. I don't love this for me, but okay.
They can be found on Love Island. So if you are a true fan.
I do love a game. So
okay. So here we are. The word is in it.
Okay. That's a bit of me, isn't it? He is a bit of me, isn't he?
Which you lucked out because bit of me was the next one. So you just
okay.
bang, 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 bang. 20 gold stars. Grafting.
Oh. Gotta get grafting.
Why did you move?
I'm in a different place now. I'm just trying to show my range. Because I feel like the girls don't say grafting as much as the guys.
Yeah.
And they always have like the
and I think grafting technically means like scaffolding.
What?
Like grafting itself is believe like,
scaffolding. Like building?
Yeah.
A foundation?
Building?
Of love?
Grafting.
Perhaps.
Grafting. Yeah, see, I lost it. I lost all my... This is actually my favorite British slang term, and I don't know if they use it a lot on the show. Chuffed.
Chuffed.
That's my favorite British word.
Here's the thing. If I don't have a long enough sentence, it's not going to work. Because I can hear them saying just like I'm chuffed, but it's like I'm chuffed. And so like it's not as intense because there's not more.
You have 10 seconds to come up with your sentence.
Does chuff mean happy? Okay. He asked me on a date and I was just chuffed about it. About it.
So good. Okay, and the last one is mint.
She was mint, bruv. Her body was mint, bruv. But close. Anyway.
That's very good.
Thank you. Thanks.
Oh my God.
I was literally practicing my Australian accent in my head today while I was walking my kids. Just because
give it a go.
One that I can't nail it down, and it's really upsetting
Let
to
it
me.
roll. You've had half a glass of wine.
No, you see, I tried this on our podcast, and it was like, I can only do like the word turtle. It's a cute little turtle. So like you can't. You have to have like certain words that do it. But it can't be all of them.
I think the interesting things about Australian accents is for half of their sentence, they sound American.
Yes, that's what's hard about it.
For half of it, and then they hit a word and you're like, well,
that's what's hard about it because you don't want to overdo it.
Because they do say their R's.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. It's hard. But it's all about where you place it in your mouth. And that's if you want to do an impression of a singer, it's the same thing. It's where you place it in your mouth.
Jeri, I just hope that, down the line, this is what you do.
Oh my gosh, I felt like I was on Jimmy Fallon just now.
Which you know.
I know. It's a dream.
When Jeri's podcast was like blowing up and I was so proud of her, I was like, you could have your own talk show. No. And she was like, would you want to be on it instead of Jimmy Fallon? And I go,
no.
Do I have to choose one or the other? Because Jimmy Fallon is a real lifelong goal.
Like, I love you, but no.
I still choose Jimmy.
Yeah, I know. His star shines much brighter, and that's fine.
I don't know if that's true, but you can't knock your childhood dreams, right?
Yeah.
You can't
for sure.
I don't know what I'd do to be on Jimmy Fallon. Maybe I would just be in the wings as your assistant.
I think you have to like accidentally go viral for like falling and then like
become an international sensation.
Yeah.
And then they'll get me on and be like, you fall here. Yeah. Show the crowd what they want. I get it.
You come out, there's like a sick drum roll and you just like fall.
Is there anything else in your week? Well, not in your week, I guess from today, because we didn't Marco Polo all day.
Well, I wanted to tell you that right before we started, I went into the bathroom because I had to pee.
Naturally.
And the lights were off, and I didn't know.
Scary.
I didn't know if it was one of those rooms that, like, if you just move, the lights come on. And so I stood there in the doorway, waving my arms like this, hoping that the light would turn on, only to like feel it, find a switch.
Don't you sometimes wish there are aliens watching us? That this is
I
all
know
a reality
that there
show
are.
for someone else.
I know that there are.
Does watching reality TV make you? And I don't know if it's insecure, but it makes me curious because I feel like it's nice that I'm at this age in my life where I can look at a woman and be like, there's thousands of dollars in your body.
Yeah.
They're like, you have clearly had work done. But I find myself Googling, how much is a...
Well, they talk about it especially on Love Island. Like, they talk about the procedures that they've had done. So, someone had a BBL, and I'm like, how much? I don't know.
How much?
Because that was something I was bullied for. Was like my ass size
Not being big enough.
Mm-hmm. I remember walking up the stairs, and I turned around, and this boy was staring at my butt, and I said, "Are you looking at my butt?" And he goes, "I'm trying to find where it is." And I was like,
"Burn, big burn."
No,
third degree.
Like, insecurity unlocked. Having a flat ass.
Fun fact, had a flat ass until like the age of 20.
When my grandma passed away, Ciara and I were...
His sweet angel blessed me with a fat ass.
Well, please hold. So the whole family is at my grandma's house. I'm so sorry I'm telling the story, Grandma. But we're at her house going through all of her stuff and, like getting stuff ready for auction. And we're going through her clothes and we find these underwear with built-in butts.
Butt pads, Jess Cardelloni special.
Ciara and I both took a pair. I took one, she took one. We both wore them to homecoming. So
the boys didn't know what hit them.
I was like, there it is.
There it is, Chad.
Uh-huh. Zach.
With a K.
It was with a K.
That's all I gotta say. That's all. I can leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
Zach's with the K's. Okay. That's really funny. Also, this is something I would have said to Jess, but she's not here, and now it's come back, is when we were in Arizona for my cousin's wedding, Jess preaches about butt pads, and Jess wore them at her own wedding. She wears them to like just feel a little something, you know? Like we wore push-up bras. We were padded push-up bras for how long?
I used to wear 2 bras. A bra over a bra because one was not enough. We were just flat. We were flat everywhere. What do you mean, please explain? You wore a bra over a bra because just the layering of the additional.
Why did we want our boobs to be like?
Oh my gosh! Because of Baywatch. Why else?
I don't think Baywatch was our generation, Jeri.
It definitely was. It was not on the television when you were a child? You didn't
reruns from the 70s?
70s? No. Hey, Siri.
Baywatch?
When was Baywatch on TV?
Here's an answer from commonsensemedia.org. During its original run from 1989 to 2001, Baywatch.
Still 2001. I was in the 2nd grade.
Okay, well,
You were in the 3rd grade.
I'm so much older than you.
You're like 2.5 years older than me. Am I wrong?
Then I'm definitely more than 1 grade older than you.
You're right. 4th grade was the cutoff for watching Baywatch every day after
I can remember being in 4th grade, taking those little jelly things that were on a solid dome, and they were like glittery.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh. I would stick those in my shirt, and I'd be like, someday these are gonna come in. And as I sit here, we're still waiting.
Yeah, the boobs never panned out for me, but I've been this exact size since the 4th grade. So I've been a mutant. I've called myself that before, and I stand by it. I was a monster. But yeah, my ass didn't come until much later in life.
You didn't need it until now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now it's for everyone.
Yeah.
Now it's a treat. Oh, but I didn't finish telling the story.
Oh.
This is our danger.
On brand. Our
danger. So Laura, per Jess Carloni's recommendation, bought butt pads. Sorry if you don't want me to tell the story, Laura. I'll find out later. And she was like, I've never felt so hot.
Truly.
And I thought she was going to have a conniption and take away her blessing for mine and Josh's future because she asked Josh to take a picture of her. And at like the wedding, like, we had to like wheel my grandma around, or she did.
Nothing.
I was working, so I didn't do it. And so like Josh took some pictures of her. She was like, great. She puts her phone away. They walk, and like the sun has like gone down now, and she opens up her phone. She's like, you zoomed in. You psychopathic son of a bitch. You zoomed in.
Who zooms in?
Oh, lost his mind, lost his marbles. She's posing, she's definitely got like little.
Yep.
Here's the tip, guys. Back leg back. Pivot side. Yep. And that'll really your butt. And he zooms just over the so Lori's just like,
so it's a LinkedIn profile picture
in the mountains. Yes. Shows her
range.
Shows her range, and she's never been so distraught. She goes, I look like this and I've got nothing to prove it.
Oh no.
So Laura, bring your butt pads to our next shoot, babe.
Yeah. We're doing a whole session dedicated to this.
Yes. We've done a whole session dedicated to her and her underwear before, but maybe
these deserve their time to shine.
These deserve their time to shine.
Yeah.
But also that to say, BBL is very dangerous, just so you know.
Yeah. I forgot that's how that started.
Yeah. BBL is very dangerous, and as much
butt
as
pads are cheaper.
Butt pads are cheaper. Yes. And like there's no risk of like fat getting loose and like clogging your arteries and then you having a heart attack and dying. So that's always benefit to butt pads.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds like a 5-star rating if I've ever heard
one. I can't swipe up, but maybe Jeri can do a swipe up for her favorite butt pads. Your grandma's model, wherever she got them. Sears, probably.
Probably. That are pennies.
Okay. Jeri, in honor of you being here, we are opening this very cheap bottle of sparkling wine.
Oh, thank you. You shouldn't have.
Technically, it is considered champagne.
Is it?
Fun fact, not all bubbly, popping champagne is considered champagne.
I heard you can only consider it champagne if it's made in Champagne.
This is California champagne.
Oh, well, it's not real champagne.
Cooks, are you lying?
Woo! We love it.
And there's a little red wine in here, so we just create a little bit of rosé.
I love rosé.
Rosé.
How that works?
Sparkling rosé is my favorite.
All day.
So
Right?
blend to your preference if
Okay.
you prefer. You know, if you she's going for it.
Duh.
That was a lot of red wine.
Listen, I have a lot of church trauma, and this is just giving me very Blood of Christ vibes. So I need to add a little.
Pour it out for you. Okay. So the meat for today's episode, everyone, we're doing Am I the Asshole Wedding Edition.
So excited about it.
I should stop drinking. My face is probably red between the beanie and the one glass of red wine.
No, you're fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah, it's just the neon sign. That's what it is.
I do feel warm.
I do feel like my neck getting hivey, but that could be the anxiety as well.
Jeri, you're the professional here. I'm the one that should be nervous.
Oh,
to
I
be in
have
your
panic
presence.
attacks every single time I record.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I am who I am. I have a panic disorder.
Work on it.
I don't know. It's one of the most frustrating things ever. I can remember looking at Shane and going, I'm having a panic attack. And he's like, wow, no idea.
Oh, yeah. I was in a bit of a panic when we were like, because we went to one house today and I was like, it's fine. We get in the car and I'm like, rubbing my chest, like, I can't breathe very well. Like, this is really like, it's just, I feel like it's very tedious and I don't like the process. And then we go into the second house and we're like, we like this. We need to get someone in here that can tell us if it's good or not.
Yeah.
Does it have good
Because
bones?
my impulsive ass is going to say yes no matter what.
Swipe that credit card. Is that how it works?
Me, I'll ignore the red flags.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care.
No.
I'll only care 2 years later when I'm standing in the kitchen looking around at everything being like, what have I done?
What have I done here?
I'm definitely not talking about personal experience, a
No.
real life thing that's currently a problem in my life. Definitely
No.
not.
No. We would never
This
talk
is
about something personal on a podcast.
Hypothetical.
Okay. So we'll start. We'll start. We'll just rip right into them.
Okay.
Am I 38 male, the asshole?
Probably. Sorry.
Say no more. On to the next one.
So sorry.
Also, here's another red flag for telling my fiance, 27 female.
Uh-huh.
Her wedding dress choice is way too extravagant
Yep.
in suggesting alternatives.
I don't even need to hear anything else. You're the asshole.
Yes, you're the worst. We are getting married in July of this year. The venue is booked and the wedding is pretty much sorted. Emma has been researching dresses and has a little scrapbook and lots of dresses she likes for ideas, but is now looking to buy. All that's left is to get the bridesmaids' dresses and her wedding dress. We jointly put aside $10K each for the wedding. Everything is paid and we have over $6K left, which I think could go towards the honeymoon on top of the honeymoon fund we already had. $6,000 for a honeymoon?
Dang,
Where the hell are you going? We aren't that extravagant type at all. Then comes the time for Emma to pick her dress.
Time out. How about you not say we aren't
Yeah.
extravagant? Because
You don't know her.
basically what I'm about to hear is that she might be.
Well, what you're about to hear is something that you're going to go, okay. Okay. We aren't the extravagant type at all. Then comes the time for Emma to pick her dress. I know everything is more expensive when it has the term wedding attached to it, but I wasn't expecting was a $950 dress plus a $120 veil.
Oh,
That's bare min, bruv. Bare min.
isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't
Bare
it?
min, bruv.
Yeah.
I'm using my dad's old tux he used for his wedding.
Good for you.
Just had it taken in a little. Emma can't use her mom's dress as it.
Weird flex, by the way.
Weird
you
flex.
had to have your dad's tux taken in.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
All right.
We love a thin king.
Jack off to that. Emma can't use her mom's dress as her and her mom both say the style hasn't aged well, which is fair. I had a quick Google around at dresses online and there were so many. And so many just like the one Emma wants for like $50 to $100. I'm not trying to get her to cheap out on her dress, but she will literally wear it once. One dress for over $1,000 is just insane, and that would fund our honeymoon.
This can't be this guy's.
I tried to show her some dresses I found on a recommended app called Wish and others on websites, but she's having none of it. She's very slender, but apparently wants it specifically fitted. It turned nasty, unfortunately, because I said I refused to drop such a large amount of money on a dress, and she argued that she's using her own money for the dress. Fair enough. Which isn't strictly true, as we are about to marry and our finances will be joined. Then her mom had to get involved. They offered to pay for the dress, but it's not a case of being able to afford it.
It's a case of me controlling her.
Yes. It's a dress. There are identical ones on an online at a fraction of the cost.
Oh, is there?
Should I start reading in a British accent? Because now we know. Now we know where he's from.
This guy's a literal red flag.
I thought she'd be ecstatic to learn that there are identical dresses for a fraction of the cost. How many times can I say fraction of the cost? But she was really angry and upset.
You're giving me Harry Potter vibes.
Am I the asshole here?
Yes.
Is there something I'm seriously missing? Because after we argued about the dress, Emma has been extremely cold towards me. Then yesterday, she said if I want her to cheap out on her wedding dress on her wedding day, that she needs to really reconsider if we were a good match for marriage.
Good for you, Emma.
Good for you, Emma. I'm blown away that she would say that over a dress. I told her she's like a toddler throwing a tantrum over a sparkly toy she can't have, and that was a mistake as she left to stay with her parents, who called me to tell I am much more than an asshole.
They're right.
They're right. Emma, dodge that bullet. Also, he's 11 years older than you. If he can't find a woman his age, it's because he's not mature enough to date the person in his age group.
Oh, listen, this guy is making me so very fucking angry. First of all, don't speak in we's. We aren't extravagant. First of all, your definition of extravagant, that's not a uniform thing.
Yeah.
And her having a specific budget for her dress, completely reasonable.
Yeah.
And your finances aren't combined.
No.
And if she wants to take that amount of money to purchase a wedding dress, which, yeah, she will only hopefully wear once.
Well, yeah, either way, that'd be cursed if it's number 2. what if I turned my wedding dress into like a nice skirt or something?
Yeah.
For some pre-wedding tennis.
Just put it on your dog. Make Barley a dress.
Barley, you're the flower girl. Wear the other cursed dress.
But, like, the fact that she's only going to wear it once increases the value of it.
Exactly. Because the quality needs to be higher because it's an event. I'm sorry, I don't know any non-wedding wedding dresses.
I love that he threw in there. Now, can you find a beautiful wedding dress for $100? Sure. That's not the average.
No.
And that's you are
especially if she has a certain
compromising.
style in mind.
Yes. You're compromising on certain aspects of it. But also the fact that he brought up like her mom had a dress, but they just said the style didn't age well. You expected her to wear her mom's dress?
Yeah.
Because what, you're wearing your dad's tux because you're a cheap ass?
And also, very big red flag is her parents offered to pay for it.
And you still said no.
Yeah. So it's like, you're just trying to control the situation.
Yeah.
You're a sketch ball for me.
Yeah. You're an asshole for me.
You're an asshole for me. Check. Solved.
Survey says
sorted.
You're the asshole. And I hope unmarried. I hope Emma
I hope Emma
decided to take some time to think about it.
And we can only hope.
And moved on.
Okay, let's see. Jeri, have I read this one all the way through? No, this is new. Okay.
Listen, you are a girl after my own heart.
Here we are. Okay. Am I the asshole for contacting my half-sister's ex to ask him to pay back the money from my wedding fund that was used to buy baby things for his child? 5 months ago, my half-sister, Amelia, showed up at my parents' house, I'm currently living with them, and begged our dad to let her stay. She told him she was pregnant and needed help. Amelia hasn't spoken to anyone in our family, excluding my older brother, since she turned 18. Despite this, my dad immediately agreed. Amelia wasn't working, so my dad was responsible for buying everything for her baby. He asked if he could use part of the wedding fund he saved up for me, since my wedding isn't until this summer, and I didn't need the money immediately. I reluctantly agreed because the baby is innocent and there would be time. Fair enough. There would be time for the money to be replaced.
The logic.
My fiance got curious about Amelia's ex one night since she wouldn't really talk about him. So we stalked her social media to find him. From the things I saw on her profile and what we researched about him, he seems to be extremely wealthy. He owned luxury cars and seemed to always be on vacation. I'll admit that I was annoyed. She let us all think she desperately needed the money from my wedding fund to pay for her baby when the baby's father could have easily brought her everything. It took me a month, but I finally got in touch with him through one of his friends. It turns out her ex wasn't the deadbeat she let us all think he was, but she hadn't even told him she was pregnant before leaving him randomly. He didn't believe me when I told him about the situation until I sent him pictures of a visibly pregnant Amelia. I gave him our address and he showed up 2 weeks later with a lawyer. He wanted to talk to her alone, but my dad wouldn't let him. Amelia ended up going back home with him after they had a very heated conversation in front of us. Before they left, he asked us how much money we had spent on the baby items and wrote a check to cover the cost. They never actually took any of the items through, and my mom is planning to send most of the stuff back. Now I know these people are British, so I'll finish it out in a British accent.
Mum.
And the check had a Q.
Oh.
My dad is angry at me since Amelia hasn't spoken to him since, and so is my older brother. He called me to chew me out a few days after she left and called me a lot of horrible names. However, my mum and sisters all agree that I did the right thing and think I saved a man from missing out on being a father. Also, my parents really couldn't afford to fund her long term, so I think this is a win-win situation for everyone. Am I the asshole? Yes.
Yeah. I'm a little worried about your sister, if I'm honest.
Fair enough to say, if a grown woman doesn't want the baby's father to be in the situation,
especially knowing he has money to finance said baby, if she's like, no, thank you.
I'd rather him not know. I'd rather run away.
Yes, that tells me that she's most likely not safe in that setting and in that scenario, and she would choose to be reliant on her parents rather than him know about this.
Yeah. And I feel like if you're doing some snooping, you could say, hey, Amelia, I saw that your baby daddy is a rich boy.
Yeah.
Why aren't we? What's the situation there? I couldn't live not knowing why he wouldn't be like, I find all these things.
Yeah. I don't like that she went to him and told him the news about his child without first going to her sister.
Right.
Because now what? Now he knows. Now a lawyer's involved. Now, like, if there was, I'm just assuming that there was some kind of toxic, unhealthy situation. If there was an issue, now you just got the law involved in it. And now you could possibly just put this child in danger.
Yeah.
So I think you're an asshole. I think that I don't think you handled it the right way.
Right.
And your motive being that you didn't have a certain amount of money for your wedding, that to me is just even worse.
But also, how much are we spending on baby items while a woman is pregnant?
I mean, baby items can get expensive, but like, I think you could cut corners to make sure that your niece or nephew is not around a bad person.
Right. Also,
your sister left with him after a heated discussion. That seems like a willing participant in that relationship.
I don't like that.
That's what I'm saying.
So yes, I believe you are the asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like anything that you did there.
Look at all these British people getting on. Is Reddit a British thing? Like, what's the situation?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But perhaps there's a lot of assholes there.
Perhaps there is a lot of assholes.
Do you have any UK listeners?
No
if there
idea.
are any of my UK listeners here, are you assholes? Do you know assholes?
Do you like my accent? It's not
you
very nice.
Accent?
I like that even though I have only spent time in the North, I can't do a Northern accent to save my life. And so
what am I doing? Where am I?
You're in Essex. You're down south. You're in a lot of different places, babes.
Okay.
But
babes.
you truly in a lot of different places.
Bit of a world traveler, aren't I?
Bit of a UK traveler.
Someone said I had a good posh accent.
Oh, I think that's what I like to be doing.
I like to have a posh accent.
I like to have a posh accent. I think if I enter into a different register of my voice, I can't like do an accent down here.
Yeah.
But if I go up here,
that's where my British live.
This is where my British lives.
She
up
lives
here.
Higher.
Yeah. So, oh yeah. And what's bad is being neurodivergent. One of the things that they say, like, we mirror a lot.
Yes, I think that's my problem.
Imagine living in the UK for 3 months, Jer. Okay.
I'm speaking to everyone in an accent.
Oh,
well,
I would.
Did I tell you about the time that I spoke in a British accent to cancel a subscription? No.
What subscription? Gym membership?
No. So I made a Just Fab account for myself, and there were 2 different sign-up bonuses. You could get a free pair of shoes,
Ooh.
and then there was another sign-up bonus that was a buy one get one half off.
A BOGO.
So I made one under my account.
Remember Payless shoes?
I do.
God,
I do.
I miss Payless.
I went in there and I was like, this seems like I'm paying more. So I'm not going to shop here anymore. But I made one under Shane's name as well. So I had one that was mine and one that was Shane's, which got very confusing because I had to cancel both of them like monthly, like skip this month. And then finally, after 4 years of me skipping months on both
How
accounts.
the hell did you remember to do that? I've been paying for
Honestly?
Planet Fitness for 2 years.
Honestly, well, because it was expensive. They were like automatically charging your card like $50 monthly,
I'm
and
getting
that
paid
was like $100 because, and I was teaching at the time, so I like did not have any money at all. So I call one day. I have a problem with calling people. I call to cancel my Just Fab account. And I cancel it because you can only cancel it over the phone. So I call, we cancel it. I call back, and I'm thinking it's a call center. There's no fucking way the same person is going to answer.
Oh,
They
no.
did. The same person answers the phone, and they're like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And I'm like, I'd like to cancel my subscription, please.
It's not like you can see my number there, right on the phone, right on the caller ID.
All I could think of is like, this person sees my numbers the exact same and knows I'm speaking in a
Hello.
fake accent.
I am in cahoots with Shane. We've just been sharing a phone.
He kept saying, Ms. Shane. And I'm like, yes, that's definitely my name.
Shane is a dope name for a girl.
Jeri and Shane, you don't know our sex.
Also, Sherry and Jane.
Happens all the time.
We-
We've gotten mail to Sherry and
Oh
Jane.
my God. We had a couple this year. And by we, I mean Madison videoed it. And so I edited it.
Mhm.
And it was like lesbians. Hey, lesbians. We love you.
do.
But their names were Patty and Molly. But
Molly and Patty.
no,
Maddie?
Polly and Maddie. I would I'd be like, hey, Polly and Maddie's video. And Madison would be like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, Molly and Patty. Polly and Maddie. What am I saying? Is that the same thing? Am I having a stroke?
You're just gonna start like referring to them by the last name.
Polly and Maddie.
Did they
No, Molly and Patty.
did they
just-
combine last names?
Yeah, they did eventually.
Okay.
So the aces.
I love it.
Polly and Maddie. No. I like
Molly and Patty?
yes, that's the one.
I no longer know which one's the real one.
There's something in there.
It's definitely those letters.
It is not what's in here, but it's something that's in there.
It's in the air. Remember when you were worried you weren't going to have enough stories? We've made it through 2.
We're doing good.
I know, I told
I love that. I'm blacked out.
This bitch could talk.
Oh my God. Never forget when I recorded the episode for Ladies and Tangents and I had a full blown panic attack after it because I think partially because it was like out of my control. Like I couldn't listen to it before it was released. And it was like,
oh, that was a me thing. I probably should have shared it with you, huh?
no, you offered to.
I did?
Yeah, you offered to. I think you did.
Oh, good for me.
Good for yeah. No, that
was so nice of you.
Jerry, you know I Marco Polo'd you like 3 hours later, like I can't sleep.
Oh,
I'm having an episode.
Yeah.
I'm having an episode.
Having a bit of a fright. Do they say that?
Sure.
Okay.
There are words that I'll say every now and then. And Josh will look at me and be like, I'm like, is that not a word?
Do we not say that?
Do we not say that here?
All of language is made up, so it doesn't matter. Make up a new word if you
I
want.
know. I'll have to start writing those down because it's like,
Make a sound out of your mouth, throw a meaning on it, call it a word. That's what I say.
yeah. There's just like things like literally from age 19 to 25.
Mm-hmm.
I was with someone from a different country and spent significant time there. So it's like a lot of just like my words are wrong.
They're not wrong.
The other day I was talking to someone and it was my bride and she had gotten a muffin from this coffee shop And I had gotten a muffin from the same coffee shop, but mine was in like a container. And she was like, oh, we didn't see the pumpkin muffins. And I was like, oh yeah, there was a bunch of muffins in there, but they were in cling film. No. What do we
Cling
call
wrap?
that here? And she was like,
She's
saran
like,
wrap?
on Earth?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Saran wrap? Like plastic wrap? And I was like, that's
But
it.
I've heard it cling wrap.
Cling film.
You say cling film? No,
Cling-
you definitely are wrong for
Yeah.
that.
Cling film is like saran wrap. Like it's
Where?
in England.
Oh, they're
Uh-huh.
wrong for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. Another one, God. Fuck. They call tape something very weird. That's not hitting me well right now.
Well, the reason that I just said fright like that is because of the Parent Trap. I just remembered. I think the Parent Trap is why I started developing a British accent, because I wanted to be prepared for whenever my redheaded twin showed up at my door and asked to switch places.
Oh my God. Speaking of redheads. So I was thinking today, and I almost Marco Polo'd you about this because I Marco Polo'd
And you're like, say it for the pot.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But you sent me those pictures of Sawyer, Ciara's baby.
yes.
And I was like, I was going to say, I think it's so annoying when people try to like tell babies like, oh, you look like your mom or you look like your dad, because they just look like babies.
They just look like
And that's their forest. And then they just,
like me.
they came out,
Uh-huh.
hello, I have 100% of my mother's DNA.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, and so I couldn't say it to you.
It's very hard. I took him out of the bath today and I was holding him, and we were like, I always pick up the kids out of the bath, wrap them in their towel, and then we dance in the mirror for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And
What?
it's very strange with Forrest because it's like I'm holding
Hi.
me as a baby.
I know.
It's a very like trippy situation.
No, because I was thinking that, like, because, you know, I think we're all conditioned to be like, oh, who does Sawyer look like? And it's like, she looks like a fucking baby.
Well, sometimes I can see them both. But
Oh, of course you can see.
agree.
Everybody can see them both. I see them both. I see her nose. It's like, no, her nose is a baby nose. It's got no cartilage.
Okay,
it's
that's
just
true.
tiny
All
little
baby,
button.
like a lot of baby noses.
It has
like
she has
a baby
brown
nose.
hair.
Yeah,
So I guess she looks like Ciara. And
she
then
does have a like very round head for a fresh baby.
yeah, it's great.
I'll say that. Very nice round head on that baby. That baby's got
Opposed to
a nice
oblong.
head. They do come out oblong sometimes.
I know sometimes that's scary.
They got a real thin canal to come out of.
Jeri, I love you so much. I love doing this with you.
I love doing this with you.
Oh my God. For better and tangent. Ladies and worse.
Ladies and worse.
Okay, let's see.
I'll be the and worse.
I think I, by definition, am the am worse. Okay, let's see this. This is actually kind of like a legitimate question. Whatever.
Okay. Like a real am I the asshole question?
Yeah, like
Okay.
a real, I think,
A
wedding
real
question.
thinker.
We'll get real for you guys here at the end.
Ugh.
Okay. Am I the asshole for not wanting my nephew at the ceremony for my wedding? My fiance and I are getting married next year. Before we were even planning it, we knew that we didn't want kids there. We have nothing against them, and we will be having some in the future, but we just don't want kids running around and being loud at a more adult event. His sister ended up getting pregnant and having the baby this past February, so he'll be 1.5 at our wedding. We still don't want kids, and his mom and sister took that personally, assuming that we just didn't want his nephew there. We tried to explain that we're not singling him out or anything, but they're devastated. We compromised and suggested that he doesn't come to the ceremony and just pictures in reception. Mother-in-law and sister-in-law still think it's disrespectful and will feel out of place since the whole family isn't there. I've offered to hire a sitter, and then mother-in-law snapped back that she wouldn't want some stranger watching her grandson. I offered one of my sister-in-law friends to come and watch, and I would pay, and they said they still weren't sure.
Love that for
That
you.
had to happen. Okay. My fiance knows that his nephew can't go to the ceremony and that his sister just won't come at all now. he's stuck because he wants his sister there since he loves her, but also wants to make me happy because he knows I'm going to be on edge if I hear a baby cry during the ceremony where it's quiet. I know I will also be on edge just waiting for a baby to cry just because I know myself. Am I the asshole for not wanting my nephew there for the ceremony? If I am, I will apologize for fighting and let him come, but I want to know whether or not I'm being unreasonable. Side note, I have cochlear implants, and hearing high-pitched noises like babies or cries or whistles does bother me. My fiance knows that, and so does my mother-in-law, yet she's still upset that I don't want the baby during the ceremony, though it will be quiet.
I am so sad for you because this is going to be a point of contention for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
This is not something, this is something that's going to be held onto and brought up frequently and thrown in your face randomly at some event. And that's so fucking annoying because no, you're not the asshole for this. If you don't want kids at your wedding, you don't want kids at your wedding. No explanation needed. It's your wedding.
Right.
If they're so hell bent on wanting him to be a part of it, have the sitter bring him for family photos and then go the fuck home. Because kids at a wedding, I had both of my children at a wedding in July, nightmare city. Okay.
Then this is what I don't get from a parent perspective. Why don't you just want a day fucking off?
I do.
Like, children will not and cannot behave, and it's unfair for you to expect them to behave exactly like you want them to
100%.
at an event. There's attention. There's more people. They're wearing itchy outfits.
It's a different setting they've never been in.
Like, this is not the environment that they're going to be able to turn it on and behave just because you're promising them candy every 30 seconds. Like, children at weddings, just have them there for photos. If you want them to like I've seen couples, they want the pictures of their like nephews walking down the aisle. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Then someone grabs them and takes them out of the church because they're not going to be able to just turn it on and sit still for an hour.
And 9 times out of 10, the photos of them coming down the aisle are like not super great. No, because sometimes they start sobbing. I don't like taking those pictures. I know some people think that they're like funny, but like if you're having an absolute meltdown because you're standing in front of a bunch of strangers, do you want someone to take your picture and be like, isn't this so funny? Rachel freaked out. No. And I get it because they're a child. They don't get the same respect as if it were an adult.
Right.
But like, that's still not cool because that was still a very real stressful panic situation for that kid.
Like, and I think a lot of times you have to put yourself in this child's perspective of like, would you at that age, 3, 4, 5, sometimes younger, want to walk in front of 200 people?
Right.
All eyes on you? Just like drop it. Drop your expectations for children in general. Like they're fucking children. Mm-hmm. Like they need to be able to just like live their life.
And I just like, who are you making this demand for? Like, is the kid really going to be bothered that he wasn't in the photo? Probably fucking not.
No.
Truly, absolutely not. So now you're throwing a tantrum for you. You're going to make the bride uncomfortable. You're going to put your son in an uncomfortable situation. And you're going to put your grandchild in an uncomfortable situation for you.
Yeah. For you, for a situation that like nobody wants.
Right.
Like I say that like I truly do love, like I consider like your kids, Madison's kids, Meredith's kids, like my nephews and nieces, right? I consider them all like parts of me. Like I love them dearly. Their asses will be at home with their grandparents.
I heard you say that on an episode and I go, duh.
Yeah, I ain't
even
having
if they're invited, I'm not bringing them.
No.
Unless you gave them specific jobs, then I would be like, listen, lower your expectations for whatever you want them to do.
What am I going to give Ollie to do? Hold a handheld vac? That's the only thing he wants to do.
He will vacuum the aisle for you.
He'll be like, I will sweep up all these petals. Will. Yes, ma'am.
If you give him like a rag, he will dust every chair.
Yeah. I know that kid. He'll do it for the best visibility unless he finds tape. And then and then he'll have to tape something.
Yeah.
He's donezo's. But yeah. You're not the asshole. Kids at weddings are trash. I truly do get sad when people have kids at weddings because also it's like these kids are tired, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's a long day.
Let them go to bed. Let them go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying like one night every once in a while isn't bad. And like there are kids that obviously like have fun and stuff, but like save yourself the headache. Kids are not needed. And like give your siblings and whoever else like a night off. Like they should hire a sitter. They should chill.
Well, I saw this TikTok and this woman was like, being a parent needs to be a mental illness because
Maybe that's why I haven't wanted to do it.
truly, because
Seems like I can't add another thing on.
I need a break from my children. And here I am at IKEA and I see someone else with their child and all I want is my child to be here because I think it looks cute and fun. But I know the last time I brought him to IKEA, it wasn't cute and fun.
No.
It's terrible. But like, I go through that all the time where like, I'll leave my kids at home, I'll go somewhere and then I'm like, dang, you know what? It'd be so much nicer if my kids were here. But no, the fuck it's not.
No.
You think the idea of having your child in a little cute outfit at this wedding, at this family event is going to be an amazing experience. And it's not. It's going to be a nightmare. You're not going to get to enjoy yourself. You're not going to be able to be present. You're not going to be able to be who you need to be, whatever your job is at the wedding. Your responsibility as the mother of the groom, as the sister of the groom.
Right.
It's gone now. Your focus is the baby. Stupid.
Dumb baby.
Yeah. Dumb babies, the asshole. No,
Dumb
kidding.
babies. To dumb babies.
Dumb babies.
To dumb babies, everyone. Well, Jer, I think we did it here.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe. We did it, Jer. We did it.
I'm so glad.
Okay, here's another tangent that I just have to talk about
Okay.
real quick. Fox News.
Oh, no.
Fox News, everyone.
No.
This to be like, I'm so sorry if like a loved one of yours actually watches Fox News.
Because you're so confident any of your listeners do not.
Because I was, no, if you do, embarrassing.
What are you doing here?
One, my mom and I went out to dinner at like kind of like a bar-ish place,
Mhm.
and there was Fox News on, and her and I were watching it. We were like laughing. Like they were coming up with this whole like Kamala and Joe are on the outs. They are not talking. There's clearly tension in the White House. I'm like,
We're in a fucking.
is this entertainment
Pandora.
tonight? Like what?
Of course, there's tension in the White House.
I'm like, they're like, she'll replace him when he dies. I'm like, what the fuck are
Why-
we?
There's this like huge fear that she's like a Trojan horse for him, and it's like, honestly, is that the worst fucking thing to happen? Truly, a woman of color in office. I think that's great. I'm for that, honestly.
I just, and this is also, I'm on the team of like, I'd love just to get to a place where like everyone's basic human rights are covered and I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about the government.
Yeah.
To be Australian would be wonderful in my mind.
I'll have to ask.
I've heard it's great. I've heard
Yeah?
there's people that don't know who the prime minister is, and I'm like, wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing? They're doing it right over there, probably. I don't know. I've never
Well,
been.
I did hear that like when it comes to the LGBTQ, they're not like super progressive. I could be speaking incorrectly because I do talk out of my ass quite frequently. But correct me, Australian listeners.
I feel like the LGBT could use any help they can get as far as just
Globally.
like
Yeah.
acceptance is concerned. But then I also saw a funny TikTok of Fox News of this guy explaining this scene in the movie You
Mm-hmm.
about like there's something to do not the movie, the show You, and there's something about like a measles vaccine, and he's like, yeah, in You, the measles vaccine, and the girl is like, I've never done a segment on the measles vaccine, and he's like, no, in You, when there's a measles vaccine, and she goes, I've never done a segment on measles. He goes, no, in You, in the show You. She goes, I have a show called Lauren. And I'm like, is this an SNL skit? Am I watching it as an SNL skit?
Miscommunicado.
A miscommunicado at its finest. But I'm just like,
Honestly.
Fox News is a plague.
Seems like there's a bit of tension in the studio.
Like you've got a little tension going on for you, Fox News.
Studio.
And I find it so horrifying and terrible. And it makes me want to go off grid.
Yeah.
But I can't. I can't take you guys off grid with me. So I'll stay on the
I gotta
grid.
stay on the grid because I am too reliant on technology and all that comes.
Does
with
scrolling
it.
TikTok like make you physically ill though?
I don't scroll on TikTok that often.
You son of a bitch, Jeri.
I know.
Do you have children or something to keep you busy?
I do indeed.
I'll just be like uploading a gallery and be like, oh, I have 30 seconds. 5 minutes later. Awful. Awful.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? Oh, maybe this is where ending it out. Maybe our Ladies and Tangents money. Our
Rachel's coming to work for us.
I'm coming to work for you, babe. I would love some sort of situation where like certain apps I can't get to on my phone. Like I put them in a certain folder and that folder has a timer. Like I'd love to only be able to access TikTok like past 7
You
p.m.
can put timers on it.
How?
All I know is you can like
Are they child locks?
You can put like a limit on your screen time, and you can target it specifically for social media apps.
Oh,
Because my friend Megan
God.
will be Marco Poloing me, and then partway through her message, it'll shut off, and then she'll get back on. She's like, my freaking screen timer went off.
Well, I don't want my screen timer to be for Marco Polo because I'm not in therapy right now, so that's what you're for. I'm Marco Polo.
You can't turn it off. You're not like trapped. You're not locked into it. But
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe you can set it.
Must Google. A must
Yeah.
Google for me.
For sure.
Jeri, I never want you to leave me.
Well, I promise I won't.
Okay.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, thank you for coming last minute. Jess, get well soon, babe. We miss
Yeah.
you. We love you.
Get better.
She texted me because I got COVID, as you guys know, and I have poopitration still a year later. If you're a new listener, you're gonna have to go back. I don't know how far to figure out what poopitration is, but she was like, "How long has it been? How long did it take you to get your taste and smell back?" And I was like,
yes.
"You do not want to know the answer to that." It took quite literally, I would guess 4 to 5 months to get my smell back. Like I could taste things, but like really you can't taste much without your smell.
Okay, so I was at my cousin's bridal shower, and my sister and I are sitting at the table. We're the only ones sitting at this table, and my cousin is opening gifts, and someone opens like a candle, and her bridesmaid like hands it to her to smell, like, "Oh my gosh, smell this, smells great." And she goes, "I can't smell." And my sister and I are just sitting there smiling, and why can't she smell? Why can't she smell? Why can't she smell? And so I'm like, oh my God, did this bitch have her bridal shower while she has COVID? But turns out she had COVID last December and still doesn't have her sense of smell back.
Yeah. Well, because it lives in your olfactory. Like
my
nerve.
old factory.
Your old factory, my old factory, all
this
of our
old factory.
This lives in this old and that old. But your olfactory sense, your old factory, because that's why like that's up here in your brain.
Yeah.
And like that's why all that the headache and what people talk about, but it's nerve damage.
Oh shit, that
yes.
sucks.
So like
That's
I have
for life.
I have long-term nerve damage basically.
Wow.
Like this champagne, all I taste is anise, like licorice, like licorice.
Ew.
That's what this tastes like to me.
Oh, fucking
Is that
gross.
wrong?
So sorry.
Is that does it taste like anise?
Well, to
too?
be fair, mine is mixed weirdly, but if it
I like
tasted
licorice, so it's
I
fine.
wouldn't drink it. Like what color licorice? Like Twizzlers?
No, Twizzlers aren't licorice. Twizzlers are sugar and awful, and Twizzlers down with Twizzlers.
We're not the fucking same.
No, down with big Twizzler, and I'll
down a big Twizzler.
No. What are the Twizzlers that are actually like pull aparts?
Peel aparts?
Yeah.
If you're
those
shitting on
Twizzlers?
Twizzlers, you don't get any kind. You don't get them in any form.
Twizzlers and Red Vines can go straight to hell where
Red
they
Vines
belong.
can go straight to hell.
They're the
but
same thing. It's
Twizzlers can
wax
come to my
candy,
house.
wax sugar.
Well, I love it.
But I can do the peel aparts because that's like gummies.
It's still Twizzlers.
The flavor's
It's a
fine.
brand.
The flavor's fine. The texture's terrible. But anyway, anise is like.
Sounds like you're just saying anus weird. So,
Isn't it aniseeds?
I don't
This
know.
is a British thing. Aniseed is
An antecede is something in literature.
anise, 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 aniseed.
I taught literature one time. Antecedent is definitely in literature.
We are leaving you on a big question mark, folks.
Do with that what you will.
Do with aniseed what you will.
Honestly, get to Googling.
We'll see you next week.
We will.
Good night and goodbye, and we love ya.
We out.
We out.
We out.